Hello everyone, this is Ultimate Number and welcome back for more Donkey Kong 64. In the last part we finished up Frantic Factory with Chunky Kong, and this part we're still Chunky Kong, but we're an Angry Aztec this time. So we're going back to Angry Aztec to finish up what we couldn't do with the Kongs we couldn't have, and in this case only Chunky Kong here, so we're only going to be here for one final part. And immediately we're up with the task here, which a lot of people seem to struggle with. Like, you can cheat this out by using instruments and such. Also, that bee just killed himself. Good. Okay, this task here is pick up the pots and then place them on their icon so they glow and spin. You could use your instruments to kill these zingers here, but I think what you're meant to do is, like, to take out your gun and then shoot the zingers one at a time. Because it's like, if you use your instruments and then go for all three before they all spawn back, and yes, enemies can spawn back after a while, the third zinger might have already spawned by the time you're at your third pot. Also, be aware that B throws the pot. To drop them, you have to press Z, and to pick them up, you have to press B also, so be careful of that. Also, I like how the pots explode. Yep, there we go. Zingers are spawning back. If I went for that pot, that zinger would have been bothering me. So just try to take them out from afar before you try to go for the pot. It's my suggestion. I think that's what they intended you to do. You can just keep it out by using instruments, but by the time, yeah, like I said, you'd be having problems if you use your instruments preemptively. So after we match all four pots, going banana. It doesn't pop out of a pot, it just appears out of nowhere. Oh well. Good. So as we get further along the level here, it's not quite obvious, but basically chunky stuff is placed anywhere no one else is placed, basically. But where they're placed exactly, it's like, for the other four Kongs, it's like everyone's stuff was pretty much almost everywhere, and all of Chunky stuff, as you'll see later, is just crammed into one areas. Like, they're just crammed here and there into areas where basically Chunky has it easy to collect collectibles. All the stuff is easily crammed up into one space, so it's really easy to track down if you collected Chunky stuff or not. Also, not only that, but as you'll see quite later, or even now actually, Chunky Kong, I think I mentioned this before, but Chunky Kong has the most collectibles out of, or the most banana coins out of any Kong here. Like, he seriously has like 200, whereas everyone else has like maybe 150 or so. I don't know, we'll add them all up at the end. We'll see. I'm not sure if Donkey Kong actually has the least amount of coins. I like to think that he does, but well, what do you know? Play a song, get going banana. So let's go here and get that going banana. And oh no! Couldn't possibly grab it while it was going down. No siree. Instead, we get to fight. Here's one of this is basically one of many enemy gauntlets. And of course, because it's Angry Aztec, it must be claptraps. Also, how did I not hit any of you? In my practice run, I just basically chucked oranges at them, just for hilarity. Because that orange has a large blast radius, so it just kills them all instantly. I guess this is ideal for if you're doing this game glitchless or something. Just chuck oranges at them. I don't know how many oranges you might have if you're not restocking or not actively restocking, but if orange supply is not precious, go ahead and use the oranges. They're a great help. I really hate that you can't kill those clobbers with anything but oranges or instruments. They really should behave like the Donkey Kong Country 2 globbers, where you just jump on them and then pick up the barrels. Still a minor problem with me, but probably a major problem to all of you. But like, in here, remember how I said lanky switch, tiny coins? Well, here's a chunky balloon, because, you know, that's where it goes. I personally don't have a problem with it, especially considering you're not... I mean, come on. You can't get in... Well, glitchless anyway. You can't possibly have Chunky Kong by this point. So, of course, his bananas are just going to be in places where they shouldn't. Like, another problem with Angry Aztec, I've already said this, but they basically put the other 4 Kongs, collectibles and stuff, everywhere. Chunky's is just crammed into corners and stuff, crammed in the walls, which is why he has it easy and yet weird. Not that way, this way. I checked where Cranky Kong is, there's nothing there. Chunky! Now with Chunky's barrel ability, we become large, which is definitely cool. And of course, Chunky is pretty much the opposite of Tiny, so he must grow big, whereas Tiny must grow small. Grow small. And now that we're big, we can carry very heavy and large boulders. Also, pretty nice detail to attention that I've noticed when I was practicing is, pay attention to the enemies. They're running away, but we can still get hurt by them. Well, the zingers are not running away from us, really. Oh, you can throw oranges while you're big? I thought you could... Oh, and they're big, too. I never knew that. I wonder if you can throw oranges as tiny, and they're tiny. Okay, this minigame isn't the greatest because, as you saw there, I almost got hit immediately. And the problem with this game is, like, minigame is, like, the hitboxes don't work sometimes. You see how long Chunky's gun is? If the Kremlings are near you, you're basically hosed because the pineapples go past them. So what I found best that works is that you should aim for the left one first and then go counterclockwise. You should just spam it. Just spam the grenades, or excuse me, pineapples. Yay, clean sweep. We didn't get any critters by the end, except they totally respawn. Enemy respawn rates vary, by the way. It's like, usually in the level themselves, it takes a while for them to respawn. Usually it's not noticed, but sometimes they are. In areas like that where you have to fight enemies, they respawn very frequently. It's like, what the hell? So, I have nothing more to say. Well, actually, I want to bring some subjects up. First of all, I'm sorry about the anger back at Chunky's portion of Frantic Factory. Like, I was really upset that I got a blue screen of death, and thus I wasn't able to really compliment some Chunky-esque stuff. Like, in Frantic Factory, remember the room with the treasure chest, and you fight a bunch of enemies, including a giant one composed of smaller enemies? That was not the switch I wanted to hit. That was not the button I wanted to... Why do I keep pressing the wrong buttons? Like, my configuration's not that terrible. I guess it's because this game uses pretty much every button the controller has, which is really nice, because not a lot of games use all the buttons on the N64 controller. This one pretty much does. Wait, does L do... No, L does not do something, so never mind. But, like... Yeah, in that room where you fight the toys and stuff, did you know that the dominoes in the Virtual Console version, and I think European version of this game, their edges are like green instead of black. I don't know why this is. They just are. And those peg enemies with the hole shapes and everything, that's their only appearance. That's literally the only time they ever show up. So there's some fun facts for you. Also, this dirt patch right here is exactly why I'm doing both dirt patches to Chunky. Because, well, as with the Banana Fairy reason, I want to show the dirt patches and fairies as one Kong, so you know where to look for them. Unless stated otherwise, or the game says otherwise, that I literally have to do 2 separate Kongs, then I will do that instead. Or I'll just cram them into one Kong-specific video. That was not the ammunition, Chunky. Jeez. Well, here's his Splat, because, you know, this is where they go. Well, there's a switch here, but let me show you why you can't go right. As you might expect, it's a dead end. And indeed it is. So, left is the only way we can go, but wait, where's the banana? Does this switch give us the banana? Who knows? Let's find out. Nope, it opens a wall. But where is the wall? Is it the only way to go left? Indeed it is. So if you're gonna wonder why is there just a random coin there, that's why, because there was a wall originally there.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Oh boy, here's one of... I don't know what to call this, just generic shooters. And again, I say this only seeing like 2, but Donkey Kong series just loves to use games like this. Just generic aim somewhere and shoot, and they can't do shit to you, and just get a high score as you can. And death to Zinger. Nope, Zinger was too far away. In my practice, I killed that Zinger on the way to the banana and also back with the orange grenades. It was really funny. I'm just making it a real good point to kill Zingers with oranges whenever possible. Because that's like the best way to kill them now. It just is. Also 40-second timer because lol, Chunky's slow, her. And as usual, I'm just gonna stand here until it says 0 seconds. And I got hit anyway. Actually, I have full health. Okay, let me test something. Yeah, 2 damage. Normally it only does 1 to you, but it did 2 damage to me right there. So that makes me really curious about something upcoming later. This doesn't seem that hard to time at all. So when I get to a certain point in the game, I might show something special off. Chunky? Oh, okay, right here, Chunky, this really illustrates Chunky's special jumping capabilities, because he doesn't jump that high, like, not really, but he actually jumps extraordinarily far. I did not demonstrate that all that well there, but oh my goodness. If you're good at the game, Chunky can actually make that jump, unlike many other Kongs. I mean, Donkey Kong can make that jump, also. He's better than Chunky, at least, but Chunky is not a bad jumper at all. He's often underestimated. Got the coin. I don't want to press A until I get that coin, because that coin has problems. Hello, Vulture. I thought I freed you. Apparently you're locked up again because I left the level. Apparently a lot of stuff has that problem. Also, why do I only have 75? Oh, Well, I'll return there in a minute. But first, gotta get some coins, yo. Because, you know, these are where they go. This is totally where Chunky's stuff belongs. I know exactly where the 25 bananas are, so give me a minute. See you there. Okay, this is exactly where the bananas are. Again, I practiced, I think, yesterday, and this time I don't actually have notes. So, I guess this is why. Again, this is where they totally go. And at the same time, Chunky has the easiest treatment of all the Kong family. Alright, we're finally frickin' done with Angry Aztec. Let me check my coin count. Indeed, we're done. We should be at 48 now. Alright, next time in Donkey Kong 64, we're going to go back to Jungle Japes, and we're going to do Lanky, and then Tiny, and then Chunky in that order. After that, we'll finally move on to the next level. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay.